How's it going, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today we are talking about how to change color on Photoshop.
This is going to be a comprehensive review.
My name's Tiffen.
Shut up!
Before we get down into this video, why don't you guys let me know in the comment section whether you spell color C-O-L-O-R or C-L-O-U-R. Okay, so let's get right into it. I mean, I love the fact that you can change color of a lot of things on Photoshop. Like if you go and take a look at my Instagram and some of my iconic or like really nice pictures that I've taken have all had their colors changed. I mean, it's like a dream playground for like any photographer. A place where I recently used it is to change the color of a pair of sneakers that I had. And it was fun, and I want to show you how you can do it as well. Now, when you open up Photoshop and drag and drop your image onto the workspace, there are a few things that you're gonna see. Like obviously, if you are a beginner, I would suggest that you go and first look up how to use the pen tool and how masks work. I will just run through it very basically here, but you might find it difficult if you don't have a prior knowledge on how to use masks and how to use the pen tool. I'm telling you, learn how to use the pen tool. It is absolutely amazing. I mean, you can do amazing things with the pen tool. So when it comes to changing color, there are three main ways to do this. I mean, obviously the ways that you can do it is endless. There are so many routes that you can take to achieving like the same task on Photoshop, Premiere, After Effects, which is the beauty of these tools. So yeah, I'm going to touch on the three main things that at least I know. So the main thing that you need to know when it comes to changing colors is you need to select which parts of your image need color changing. So in this particular example, what I'm going to do is I'm going to change the yellow bits or like the orange bits, the orange suede leather bits on the sneaker to a different color. So the first thing I need to do is how do I select these, or how do I single out these panels? First, and I think the most accurate way to do this is to first use the pen tool and outline the sections that you want to highlight or you want to select. So now once you have your entire area selected using the pen tool or outlined using the pen tool, there are three layers on the bottom right. The panel that you're looking for is the paths tool, right? So when you click on it, you're going to see the path that you drew or the outline that you made using the pen tool. What I want you to do is to hold down Control on your computer, and once you hold Control on your computer, like the icon flashes when you have your cursor hovering over that box. It flashes to a different cursor. Once that happens, just click, and then you will see that the outline that you drew with your pen tool immediately turns into like the running ants outline. It's like dotted lines where previously you had the pen outline. So once this happens, it's telling you that Photoshop has selected this area. Now what you need to do after this is to open up a new layer just above your main image. You can do this by going to the bottom right hand side and clicking on the plus sign, and it will open up a new layer. Now as soon as you do this, I want you to hit B on the keyboard, which is the brush tool, or if you navigate to the left side tools panel, you'll find like a brush icon, and that's essentially the brush tool. So if you look at the bottom of the brush, like that tool panel, you'll see two squares that have different colors. The square on the top is the color that is currently on the brush. So if you use it to paint within the running ants, you're going to see a color come up. But what you want to do is select the color that you want to change the shoe or that panel into, and start drawing over the area where the running ants are. Now if you're doing this, you're going to notice that the painting or the color stays within those running ants and they don't go beyond that, which is great. You don't have to be very accurate about what you draw. You can just color the entire section. Now once you do this, you just have to go into the blend mode, which is right above these layers, and change the blending method into color. That's it, and that's what you have to do to all the panels that you want to change. Now if you have a lot of time, using the pen tool is the best way, the most accurate way that you can change a color of almost 80% of the things. Now, if you want a quicker way, then you should probably use these other two methods that I'm going to show you. Now, the second method is the method of selecting a color, letting Photoshop single out the colors that you want to change. Now, for example, the orange on this suede or these suede panels are very distinct compared to the entire image. There's a bit of the same color in the background where the screen and those displays are in the background, but we can deal with that later. All you have to do is go to the top left and click on the select panel, and just bring down that whole option list and select color range. Now, when you select color range, you're gonna see this window pop up. And what you're going to do is you're going to use those eye picker or the eyedropper tools and click on the area of the image or where the color is. So now if you click on these panels, you're gonna see that all the parts of that image that has the color come up as white, and you can use the fuzziness dial like thing to give it a little bit more room, so the computer selects a little bit more inside and outside of the color range that you've selected. So once you're happy with your selection, just hit OK, and then you're going to see a bunch of running ants all over the image. Now you can go ahead and then redo the same step, where you take the brush tool and then add a new layer and then start coloring the areas that you want to color in. For example, again, the panels that you want to turn, just color over them. They're not going to bleed out, but if they do bleed out, just use the erase tool and just erase the unnecessary sections. If you want to get a specific color in terms of color accuracy and matching colors to the exact color that you want, these are the two best ways. Now, there is one final method where you can use the hue and saturation layer to kind of change the images. Add a hue and saturation layer on top of your default layer or your main image, right? So when you add that, you're gonna see this icon with a finger on it. What you want to do is click that, and as soon as you hover over the image, you're going to see the eyedropper tool. Click on the areas or the color again, just like when you're selecting a color range. Click on the color of that panel. What this is going to do is it's going to tell that layer to target all of those colors. Once you selected the color and start sliding the hue slider around, you're going to see the color change of all the colors that are on the image as a whole. So even the stuff in the background is going to start changing. So what you want to do is, if you take a look at the layer mask, there's a white panel right next to the main layer mask patch. So that is where you want to color everything in, or color the sections of the image that you want the color to be changed. If it's white as it is showing right now, it means that everything on this image is being controlled by that hue and saturation layer. So what you want to do is hit Control I, then it turns that entire thing black, which basically you're inverting the colors to black. If it was white before, it becomes black. If it was black before, it becomes white when you hit Control I. Now, when it's entirely black, what you want to do is, while you're selecting this white patch, or now which is a black patch, which is the mask layer or the mask patch, once you select that, go and hit B on the keyboard or select the brush tool again. Make sure you have white selected as the color, and again go ahead and paint the areas on your shoe, or if you're trying to change the colors of something else, go ahead and draw it in, and it's going to start reflecting that color. And you can mess around with the blending options to give you the color that you want. Now, it's going to be very tricky to match the two colors using the slider, because you're not exactly changing the colors. You're trying to use the base color and the layer on top to mix them together to form a different color, essentially. So that's it. 3 ways that you can change color on your image. Now, I use this for so many things, and I love messing around with images, because I don't think I'm an amazing photographer. I'm a firm believer of the camera doesn't matter. You can take pictures with your phone, but you can use these kinds of tricks and tips and make your images really funky or surreal. So yeah, go ahead and try it out and let me know if you liked it or if it worked for you. Subscribe to the channel, hit the like button, and I'll see you in the next one.
A couple weeks go by and you're right back in my